Hello, welcome to the channel, The Big H on Motors. I'm of course the Big H, and today I thought we'd go through my likes and dislikes on the new Suzuki Swift Sport, the ZC33. I've had the car now some 6.5–7 months, and we've done 7,400 miles. I thought we'd have a go through of everything I like, everything I don't like, and what I think Suzuki could or could not improve on. So stay tuned, and I hope you like the video. So we'll start with the cabin area. The seats, which is the most important thing to any driver, especially on long journeys, they are fabulously comfortable. They hold you in position when you're cornering a bit quick. They are fantastically padded. They are so comfortable. If you haven't sat in one of these or tried the seats, you really need to. They are fantastic. I'm 6'3", and as you can see, I can put my head all the way back on the headrest. It's built into the seats. It's non-adjustable, but by God, it's epic. So yeah, Suzuki have done a fantastic job on the seats. Very supportive and very comfortable. Second off, what do I like about the cabin area? I like the dashboard. I like the fact that you can change the centre binnacle to have, I mean, at the minute, I'll show you in a moment when we get a chance. I've got the torque and power meters on the dashboard, but you can have your boost, you can have your fuel economy, you can have a lateral or motion sensor, should I say, you can have your current miles per gallon, you can have your average miles per gallon. So it is very good. The only thing I don't like, and it's only a little thing, is when you are scrolling through, there is one area that's completely blank. There's nothing on it, it's just a black space on the screen. I personally think Suzuki should have perhaps put the little navigation on there from the centre console, as the Abarth does, onto the screen. That would be fantastic. Just a little arrow with the name of the road or something very simple. But a bit of a waste of a waste of a space there. So again, the media centre, which is more or less like a inverted iPad, is really good. It's got Apple CarPlay, it's got Android Auto, various bits and pieces on it. The only thing I will say, and I don't know if it's due to my phone or whether it's due to the car, is sometimes when you plug the iPhone in, the two don't seem to register very well. You'll put it in through the USB port, which is just underneath the centre binnacle, and nothing will happen. So you have to take it back out and plug it back in for it to recognise that you've got your phone plugged in. Now I don't know if that's a problem with my phone or whether it's a problem with the software in the car. Not sure. It's a bit frustrating. It's only a little niggle, but it is something I think that they could perhaps improve on a little bit. Whether it's Apple or their app, I don't know. But the rest of it is really good. Plus side, the sound quality from the speakers is good, providing you don't have it very loud. I like all kinds of music. I particularly like rock music, but if you start to crank the bass up, or the volume should I say, the speakers distort quite badly, which spoils the feast of the ears of the music. So I think Suzuki could probably go a little bit further with the entertainment system sound wise. Like I say, when it's medium volume and you've got the bass switched off a little bit, it sounds quite good, but the minute you start cranking it up, it starts to distort. So that is one area that I'm a little bit disappointed with, and one area I think Suzuki could perhaps improve on. I haven't really looked into whether there's any aftermarket alternatives yet, but you know, the car's still in warranty, so it's not something I'm going to start messing about with. So yeah, Suzuki, that's one that you could perhaps improve on a little bit. So as you've seen on previous videos, mine and plenty that are going on the web at the minute, this thing is packed with a whole host of features from factory. You've got the adaptive cruise control, you've got the lane guidance, bit of a grumble. The lane guidance seems to have a mind of its own, I'm going to be honest. I'm currently going down a country lane and I'm nowhere near the centre line, and it keeps telling me that I've breached the centre line. So whether it's a bit sensitive or not, I don't know, or whether it's just reading the road wrong. Can be a bit annoying, that, but again, it's, you know, it's a feature that a lot of other cars this price, and indeed a lot more expensive, don't have. So I suppose that's a bit of a grumble for nothing, because you can actually turn it off. So but there is, I'm being honest, that's one thing that does annoy me a little bit, but like I say, you can turn it off, so it's no big drama. So So yeah, one other little grumble, as you've seen in a previous video, the cabin when you're driving is quite noisy. There's a lot of road noise, there's a lot of noise from the gearbox area, and there's a hell of a lot of wind noise. I don't know if you can pick that up on the microphone. I mean, I'm going down a single carriageway at the minute, which is going to open up into dual carriageway, and I'm doing 60 mile an hour, and the wind noise is quite bad. It's something that could definitely be improved on, I feel. There are some wind deflectors on the market by various companies, so I'm not going to plug. They're not expensive. I think they're around about 35 or 40 quid. Will I buy some? Probably, just to see if it gets rid of that little bit of wind noise, because it is annoying, especially when you have no entertainment system on. Obviously, for copyright purposes on YouTube, I can't play anything or listen to anything today. So it can get a bit annoying. So I will get some wind deflectors fitted in the near future, and we'll see if that starts to get rid of a bit of this unwanted ambient noise. Let's see. So performance wise, let's dispel the myth with the elephant in the room first. It has what is claimed to be 140 horsepower, but those that have looked through various online reports on this will know that that's probably a little bit lower than it should be. Most reports are coming saying it's around about 100, 152, and there are reports from others with premium fuel in there saying it's 165 plus horsepower. Now, you know, whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. I've not had it dynoed. I'm not about to have it dyno tested because it's still under warranty. I personally think it's probably a bit quicker than the facts and figures would give you. So let's dispel the myth that the 140 horsepower is no fun, because by Christ, this car is fun. Like I say, it weighs 90, excuse me, I'm a bit of a fool, 900 and something kilograms. I thought it was 932, but I think it's 975. Anyway, go check for yourself. So it weighs nothing, okay? It weighs absolutely nothing. The handling is absolutely crisp. It sticks to the road like, put your fingers in your ears, children, shit to a stick. It accelerates quick. The brakes are absolutely fantastic. So this myth of 140 horsepower is not enough to have fun. It's absolute bull. This thing is a hoot. It sticks to the road, it handles well, it'll pull away from cars that have got a lot more horsepower because they're a lot heavier. And as for the torque, it is fantastic. This little turbocharged 1.4 engine has all the torque you need around the lanes and the twisties to have fun. I'm a member of a hot hatch forum, and when I put this car on and asked people's opinions, the amount of hatred I got, because, oh, that's not a hot hatch, it's only a mild hatch. It's not, it is a proper hot hatch. For those that dispelling the myth that it is a hot hatch, roll yourself back to the 1980s when a hot hatch had a 95 brake horsepower engine, the XR3i. Now the forums welcome those with open arms. A 95 brake horsepower, 1.6 rock box Ford, but they won't open their arms to 140 horsepower, brilliantly engineered Japanese hot hatch, because that's what it is. It's a Japanese hot hatch. It only has 140 horsepower, but do you need any more? You could do a little bit more. Oh, I can't tell you that. But personally, I don't think you do. I think it's got enough. There are companies out there that are trying to get 200 brake horsepower plus from this. Good thing, bad thing, not sure. It's alright, there's a bloke here who insists in the middle of the road and will not move. Personally, I don't think, I could probably do with a little bit more, but not too much more, because, I shall be honest, if you do give it the beans, it does seem to have problems putting the power down onto the front wheels. It seems to spin the wheels up a lot. Now whether that's due to, I don't know, whether it's a design fault, or whether it's just for you to have a bit of fun, or whether it's due to the Continental Sport tyres, I don't know. But it's the truth, it does spin its wheels up quite easy. So any more power for me? I don't think so. I think it's just right as it is. But anyway, we'll leave it there for the minute and we'll have a look around the outside. Firstly, you'll notice that it is bright yellow. The yellow peril, I call it. That's one of my favourite things about the car. If you're going to buy this car, buy it in yellow. You know, everyone buys blue, black or white to be safe. But who wants to be safe? You want to be noticed. Go and buy something bright and cheerful. I mean, this thing's yellow, stands out in the crowd. People love it. Kids come up to it. It's fantastic. So, my favourite colour. But, you know, I'm not dissing any of the others, but just my personal choice. Now, I particularly like the back end of the car. It sits quite squat and the arches are slightly flared out. I don't know if you can see that there. I think the back is its best feature. The only thing I would say is the exhaust system, which I haven't got the car switched on at the minute, but I will in a moment. It's quite quiet for a hot hatch. It could do with being a bit raspier. So that's the only other negative I would say. But excuse it is a bit dirty. But the carbon fibre effect bits on it look stunning. As you can see, the bits on the side, carbon fibre sills, I think they look fantastic. I know they're not real carbon fibre, but they are properly nice. But as for the styling, I think it's fantastic. You all may agree or disagree. Front looks quite good. Obviously the bumper on this is bespoke to this model. It's different from the other Suzuki Swift models, as are the headlights. They've got the daylight running lights inside the headlights as opposed to where the fog lights are on this. So yeah, another slight different touch. So as for the cabin, we've looked at this before, but we'll go through it again. Things I do like. I like the red carbon fibre effect on the dash and the fact that it's on the armrest of the door. I like the way that the glove box is cut away, so I'm 6'3", as you can see. Sorry about the crappy video. Even with the door shut and the seat not all the way back, there's plenty of room. Glove box wise, it's not that big to be fair. I've got my service book in there, a spare phone and some wipes to clean my hands when I've been messing about with cars and stuff, so it's not fantastically big, but it's big enough. Centre console I really like with the red flashes. As you can see, it's got a couple of cup holders. To be fair, there is no way to put your phone, to be fair, so I use my cup holders to put my phone in, but there are also bottle holders in the doors, so it's no big drama. You can put your cup in there or in the door. I like the alloy effect pedals, but I don't like very much the ill-fitting floor mats, which I'm sorry they're filthy, but I do use the car every day. That mat for some reason doesn't seem to fit particularly well. I don't know if it's for this car or if it's for an earlier sport model and I just thought they'd chuck it in, but it doesn't fit very well. It does what it's supposed to do. It keeps the muck off the floor, I suppose, but the rest of the car inside I'm very pleased with. See, there's the seats with the sport sign logo on it, red with black stitching. I think they look lovely, and there's plenty of room in the back. So if I get a bit closer, look at that interestedness and exhaust, but I bet you can't hear that over the sound of the cars going up and down the road. It is insanely quiet for a hot hatch. I think there is room for improvement there. I know there are aftermarket exhausts available at the minute from the likes of HKS and CTC Performance, but they're not cheap. I think the cheapest one's about 500 or 600 quid. Most expensive's over 13, but you know, quite expensive. But there we go. They are the driving lights that are unique. I think they're unique to the Swift Sport. That's another thing I like. It's got the LED projector headlights that are absolutely out this world at night. It is like daylight. Compared to some of the new cars which I've driven, the Abarth 595, which I also had from there, had the most woeful headlights in the world. They're like a pair of bloody candles at the front, but these things are absolutely magnificent. They light up the road like you wouldn't believe, and when you've got the the front fogs or spots, whatever you want to call it on, it truly does turn night into day. So that's another feature that I do like about the car, is the power of the headlights. They are fantastic. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with this car so far. It's good on fuel. Let's go take a part of my arse on the bonnet. It's good on fuel. On a run it'll do over 50 miles to a gallon, which for a hot hatch is fantastic. I currently get about 40-45 out of it, but I use it every day to and from work. I do 50 miles a day in it. A lot of the time it's stuck in traffic, it doesn't do more than 10 mile an hour, so 40 plus mile an hour in daily traffic is still quite good for what is a really fun car. So all the doubters out there that say the 140 horsepower isn't enough and it isn't a true hot hatch, you're very much mistaken. This thing is a hot hatch in all its connotations. It matches, well, it ticks every box. It's fun, it's light. What more do you need from a hot hatch? Yes, there are others out there with 200 plus brake horsepower, but are they any more fun? I don't think they are. So don't dispel the Suzuki Swift Sport when you're looking for a new car. Go and test drive one. You'll be really pleasantly surprised. They are fantastic. But that's enough from me. Fantastic job, Suzuki. and we'll have some more videos coming up soon, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon if you haven't. The videos aren't that good, I'm not very professional, but it's just me having a bit of fun, so if you like to have a bit of fun, then I'm the place to be. So thank you very much for watching, and ta-ta.